cow, guys. Look at the line here. Outside the front gates, look at this.
Walt Disney World is a tribute to the philosophy and the life of Walter Elias Disney, and to the talents, the dedication, and the loyalty of the entire Disney organization that made Walt Disney's dream come true.
Well, at the beginning of the month, first weekend of the month, was the celebration of 50 years of Walt Disney World. And from the videos we saw, basically, you know, there was a lot of people there. The place was jam-packed. And you kind of expected it. You kind of expected it. But with all the changes that have been happening at the Disney Corporation, to me, this looked like a massive cash grab and a cheapened celebration. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share this video, hit that notification bell, and switch it to all, and you'll receive all of our notifications here on Cuticast TV. So the 50th anniversary has come and gone, the main event itself, and you kind of would expect a lot from it. And like I said, the crowds were big, and there are a lot of Disney YouTubers that were there. You've seen a couple of clips that I've put out there from this event, and we saw from way before, long before opening, before sunrise, the lines were starting. And you may say, well, it's great, you know, they're doing all this, they're having a fireworks extravaganza, they have music, they have events, stuff that's going on. Also, they will have stuff that you'll be able to buy to commemorate the event. And of course, in this day and age, anything to commemorate a large event becomes a big cash grab to the situation where something to that nature will become worth something down the line. But you got to remember one thing, and the biggest thing ever: too much of one thing doesn't make it expensive down the line as far as history. You know, you could sell 2 million copies of a book, and then those 2 million copies are still circulating, and you'll go 20, 30, 40, 50 years. You might still have 1 million of them left, but the value of the product won't be as high. You'll spend $20, and maybe it might be $30 or $40. Not to where like some issues of comic books are in the millions, like, you know, X-Men #1, Fantastic Four #1, the first appearance of Batman, Superman, where those are ranking in the tens of thousands to the millions, depending on the issues. And people expect this all the time. But understand, if you sell a lot of stuff of the product, it doesn't help that way. If you're buying it to commemorate the era, which there are people out there that do that, they add it to their collection. It's a nice thing on there. And from what we saw from Disney, the lines that were there were not the rides you would expect it with that many people in the park. The rides would be the, you know, you would have so many people on the rides. From what I understand from some of the people that were on the ground, the rides were easy to get on as a normal day. Some points, rides like Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, the big rides there, Haunted Mansion, 15-minute wait to 30-minute wait. And most of the time, even with that number up there, at some points, 5-10 minutes and you walked on. But you may ask yourself, where were the lines? Where were all these people in the parks, which it looked like something out of Christmas, for this extravaganza celebration? Where did you expect it to be? See, the way this was advertised, the way things were put together. When you walked into the park, they gave you a souvenir booklet. In that booklet had a lot of things, a lot of information, events, and also merch. Yes, that's right, a lot of merch. One of the major things was they had this popcorn bucket that looked like a Mickey Mouse balloon or something that like it came in 4 different colors. But of course, every cart didn't have every color. So you saw lines that were going for about as long as a busy day on a ride to get a bucket of popcorn with that color plastic coating around it. I mean, I heard the instance of 45 minutes to an hour to the situation. And that was not the only thing. All the stores that sells the merch and all that all had long lines. Some of them had these special pins, t-shirts, purses, hats, a lot of stuff that had the 50th anniversary on there. And all those lines were there. And not only the merch stores, the food court areas, the food vendors had things going on as well. I think they had like a toad burger, which wasn't made out of a toad, but it was made to look like a head of a toad. It had, I don't know if it was a piece of cheese or something sticking out of it like a tongue. They used 2 olives as eyes stuck on top, and they were selling that. They were selling those as crazy. There were other pastries, anniversary pastries and stuff like that. And I heard some of the pastries weren't that great. That there were overpriced pastries and cakes and stuff like that. And the other thing is that with all this that was going on, I mean, people just standing around all day long. I mean, even though you had lines at Joffrey Coffee, what was going on in Joffrey? I still can't understand what was going on in Joffrey Coffee. Now, you had Starbucks and all that, and I know people wanted coffee, but this is Florida. You know, hot cup of coffee in Florida temperatures. I know they do very well. There's nothing wrong. I've drank coffee on a hot day, but you know, and yes, they do make cold coffee as well on there. But you have to think into the perspective of temperatures down in South Florida. Excuse me, Central Florida, not South. Whew. Central Florida. But also the perspective of what was going on as far as the music and everything like that. Now, I understand that there was a gentleman who played piano there at the year 1 of Disney, and he showed up over the weekend to play at Disney World on the anniversary. I kind of say, but where was the real big musicians? You know, I was expecting like an Elton John or someone big that would come down to play some music and stuff like that. I know they filmed a special. I think they filmed an ABC special for the 50th anniversary. I don't know if it aired yet or not because I haven't heard anything yet, or are they still editing it? But from what I heard on the ground, it was like lackluster as far as the situation, as far as what events were going on. Chapek was there, did show his face once at the very early start, but afterwards, most of his speeches were pre-taped. And that's cheap. You figured it would have, you know, you had Chapek, Iger. You figure Eisner was there? Was Eisner there? I don't know. I haven't heard anything to that nature. You know, you kind of figure guy who ran the company from 84 to 2005 would be there for the 50th. I don't know if Abigail Disney went, because I know she's very upset on how the company has been handling the employees there. And that's the other thing is that, you know, you have some employees there that have been there since day one. And you have some employees there that have 25 plus years in the company as well. And they still haven't gotten respect yet. They still haven't been, you know, given the respect that they're due. That these guys come in, work hard to bring entertainment to all ages. But yet, you have the big executives taking big cuts and not passing that down to the employees. I know the company my wife works for, she's received stipends from her company for just being there at the time, at the beginning, when we were just opening stores back up again. When I'm here in New York City, the stores were all shut down and everything like that. You couldn't go to the store. The only thing that were open were like Targets, Walmarts, Costco, and certain supermarkets and small stores. The department store levels, all you could do was order and pick up, and that staff was kept small as well. And the company she works for, they even shut down the internet services. So that basically you couldn't even order stuff from them online. The company she worked for, they shut down completely. But when they reopened it back, everybody that came back got multiple stipends every couple of months or so. I know she's due another one soon if they do it again. It wasn't much, but still, hell. At least you got something that, on there. I mean, has Disney does anything like this to anybody in their company as far as their regular employees? I don't think so. I really don't think so. This is the respect that they have for the employees. This is why Disney is failing as a company in whole. Not only from the entertainment business, the amusement park business, just their general practice in business. They have been told, these are the problems you have with the company. You need to fix these. But yet they sit here and what do they want to do? Spend money on revamping rides to change it for the modern era. They want to get rid of Splash Mountain, which there's nothing wrong with Splash Mountain. There's never been anything wrong with Splash Mountain. They said, well, it's because of the Song of the South. Other than the songs that are in there, it has no correlation back to the movie other than the song and the story that was told of Briar Rabbit. That's all it is the story of Briar Rabbit. This company overseas that was selling tons of comics of the characters from Song of the South. They made money overseas in the comic book division of this, in Latin America, overseas in Europe. They created these. So they have no problem putting this stuff out. They just here in the US of A, they hired people that says, well, that's problematic. People are not going to like it. Did you ask anybody? Did you sit there and talk to anybody in the parks that says, what do you think of Splash Mountain? And they'll tell you they loved it. It's the same thing as that they want to remove the hanging guy in Haunted Mansion. They want to take the Indians away from Peter Pan. They already changed Pirates of the Caribbean. They took away, they rebuilt the auction. And you may say, well, it was kind of sexist. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, that was pirates then. Go look at your history of pirates. That's what happened. Let me put it in this perspective. Don't you find it a little scary at the beginning of the Pirates of the Caribbean because they're dead skeletons and everything like that? Dead men tell no tales. It's kind of a scary, dark ride at points, and that's kind of a scary point on there. Seeing that the pirates will capture you and sell you off, because that's pirates. They drink, they plunder, they pillage. That's what a pirate is supposed to do. It's not glorifying it. It's the truth. In a way, in some points, they made it a little fun out of it because some of the pirate characters happen to be silly. They made a freaking movie series out of it. They made a complete movie series with Johnny Depp playing a drunken pirate. And people adored him. And because, of course, they want to change the movies. They're putting freaking disclaimers on the movies. They want to erase out sections of Dumbo and some of the others. They want to rehash. If you want to see what the future is for some of the Disney classics, go over to Amazon right now and look at their Cinderella. You think that basically Amazon messed up Cinderella, that Disney won't do the same on all their others? Think the perspective that Cinderella is in public domain. They can do whatever they want with the Cinderella, Snow White, and any of the other characters that they have in there because it's public domain. This is the same company, Disney, that basically fights to keep their characters in copyright. We had stories about this before. Mickey Mouse should have been already on the public domain listings. But they keep moving the goalposts. They keep greasing the wheels of politicians so they'll be able to keep their product. That is the legacy of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, of what this company done. Not what Walt built, not what Walt Disney built. They moved away from that long ago. Walt had, no matter what you think of Walt Disney, he had a vision. This is a guy who sat there, created other companies on the side and different names to buy land in Florida so no one would know that he would build Disney World there. And then when they found out about it, they all freaked out. All these other companies freaked out and said, holy shit. When I was a kid, 10 years old, and I went to Disney World for the first time, and then we're building Epcot at the same time, the surrounding area, International Drive and all that, was still building upward. You had Wet and Wild, and you had this place, that place, and all that. Universal Studios wasn't even on the drawing board yet. Now you go back today. How large is the International Drive now? See, I remember when International Drive, the biggest things there were, like I said, Wet and Wild, Mystery Fun House. There was a couple small little amusement parks in between. The Hollywood Wax Museum and SeaWorld. Those were the biggest things on the market. Now you go back and there's a ton of stuff there now. Ton of restaurants, stores. There's so much there. It is a city within itself, just outside Disney. Remember, look back in history how this place started. What was there prior? It was a small town. Orlando was a small town at the time. It wasn't that big. Now it is. It's a city within itself. Disney is a city within itself. Orlando is a large city. International Drive is part of that large city. All thanks to Walt Disney. But he gets no thanks. Not from the people who are running this company today. If they had the chance, they would remove the Walt statue from the freaking Main Street itself. They would. They would actually do that. Because this is the way they are. Disney knew what he was doing and the rides and everything that he created. Now they're focusing on trying to eliminate how many rides are left from the original Disney World. Now I can understand, you could say to yourself stuff like if you had Wings, they lost the contracts to that. Eastern had it at first, then there was Delta Flight and all that. Mission to Mars and stuff like that. Look what they replaced those with. Look at the things that they replaced most of those rides with. And there were other stuff. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And then they brought it back. They brought it back for a little bit. I think at Disneyland. The Mickey Mouse Revue. They used to have this big concert with animatronics, which was real great. And they want to change the Country Bear Jamboree as well. They brought back. I was shocked that they brought back the shooting gallery. I was shocked. I used to have fun with it. That was shut down for the longest. And the reason they took it down is that the excuse, they were like, people shooting things, that's not guns, that's not good. But it's an Old West setting. It's an Old West setting. They had guns. They don't understand is that they erase history this way. Trust me, one of the other bigger things, the Hall of Presidents, they're going to change that completely. I guarantee you. That's another one that's going to be changed drastically. Because that's what they're doing, erasing history. We had another video prior about Isaac Asimov's The Foundation TV series that it has nothing to do with the vision of Isaac Asimov. And Isaac Asimov said, if anything, in the far future, I will only be known for 60 words. 60 words. And those 60 words are the law of robotics. That's it. Not to the other books and novels that he created throughout the years of his life. What would Disney World or the Disney company be like in years to come? What will be left of Walt's vision? Think about that for a minute. And comment below and you tell me, what would Disney be years from now? So we reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. You can comment below and feel free to tell me how you're feeling about this. Were you there? Did you enjoy it? I can tell you, I've spoken to a lot of people already. A lot of people that I know down there that went and they said, nope, didn't like it. It was a cash grab. It was a total cash grab. That's all it was. People were online for product and not the rides. Product and food and not rides. So we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. It's another edition of Saturday Pre-Flight, where we're delving into the zombie genre this week, where we're dealing with two different films. One from a great horror master, and the other one from the black exploitation era. So we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.